All right, Jason Anderson, post-race here. Tell us how your night went.
Yeah, my night was kind of very similar to last weekend. I was all right in the heat race, and then in the main, I kind of just rode in my place and ended up P5. So, yep, not exactly what we want, but at the same time, it's a top 5, and we'll move on to Detroit and see where that puts us next weekend.
What do you expect for Detroit? Usually that dirt's kind of weird too. Do you expect kind of a similar situation?
Detroit, it really depends. Sometimes it can be really hard packed, and then sometimes it can be soft. So I think, we'll find out when we get there.
All right, Colin Park, where'd you finish at?
P9.
P9. Consistent top 10s though, I feel like this year. It's been really good. How was your night?
Yeah, bittersweet. That's my third ninth of the year, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. And I had myself in a really good position. I was in 7th moving forward, and I just fell apart out there. Fell apart. I crapped the bed, and I want to do better than 9th, obviously. So next weekend in Detroit, I need to just go for it. If I end up crashing, I crash, but I gotta be better than 9th.
It's pretty solid. That has to be like the sketchiest race of the year, I would assume, for a rider.
Yeah, for sure. The whoops for me is like there was obviously the one line to the middle, and like I'd be like feet off, just like trying to balance. You would think I was racing an enduro cross out there, but I enjoy these conditions, honestly. Like they kind of suit me, but you wouldn't know it tonight, P9, but I do like this track.
All right, Adam Cianciarulo, back after a weekend off, 2 weeks off. Tell us what went into the decision to not race, and how are you doing now, and how was your night?
Yeah, so basically it wasn't one thing that happened with my wrist. Obviously I have some documented issues in the past. Doesn't make things easier. But basically just after Tampa, I crashed at Tampa, and it just kind of got a little bit sore. And it kept getting more sore and more sore. I've got to the point, Arlington press day, where I just didn't feel safe riding. And honestly, it's a really hard decision for me to not race, take a couple weeks off. I don't know how it looks from the outside, but I really like doing my job, and it was a tough call, but I was proud of myself because, to be honest, in the past I would have raced and put myself at risk. So took some time and got some stuff done, and it feels better. It's not 100%. I'm wearing a brace, but yeah. So rode on Wednesday. I've not a lot of time. I didn't put a lot of time in the last few weeks, but man, I am so happy with my night. Like, I've never been so stoked for 6th place. It feels, just when it comes to my racing, the last couple of years has been difficult with injuries and stuff like that. And I was telling Jake Weimer's here helping me out this week, and it's like, dude, I can't remember the last time I was like proud of myself on a dirt bike. Just with all this, and I'm just so grateful to still have this opportunity, and to be out there in the battle with the guys. Obviously I finished a ways back, but just up there, and I still got it. Like, and I just to feel that again and feel that belief in myself again. I've been through a lot, and it means a lot to me.
Has it been hard to kind of take a step back a bit? Obviously, I think this last injury, like you're saying, made you appreciate things a lot more. And obviously the goal this year, I would assume, is just get through it, and whatever you get is what you get. Is it hard for you when you get a good start to kind of step back a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's just having in the past, I've really only ridden one way. I've had one way to ride, and it's kind of wide open. So it's kind of retraining your brain, and as easy as it sounds to be like, just go out there and ride at 80% or do this, or, when you've been doing these same things and kind of have these same, call it kind of just patterns that you've been, since a kid, it's really difficult to make meaningful change in those areas. And that's what I've done. I've let it, even like the heat race today, I didn't have, and qualifying wasn't great, and I kind of just let it come to me and stuck with it. And I'm learning to ride differently, and to be honest with my health and how my body is, I have to ride differently. So it's been a lot of intentional focus at the race and during the week, but it's worth it. It's starting to pay off. I'm excited.
All right, we're here with Travis Souls, mechanic of Ken Roczen. Big night for you. Big night. You were on RCH before this, so you've won with Suzuki before. But how important is this win for the team, you and Ken?
this is huge for, I mean, especially for me too. This is my first win with Suzuki, so super excited. I knew he could do it. He knew he could do it. We finally found that magic setting, and we're back, boys.
What? I mean, obviously you're not going to say what the magic setting is, but like, what all? There's been a lot of suspension changes this year, a lot of various other changes. What finally clicked tonight that got him happy to get there?
He just finally was able to ride during the week and not test all week long. We were just testing and running into the ground and just running circles, and we finally found a setting he liked. We fine-tuned it. We made one clicker change today, and he rode it all day, and we're good to go.
Did you cry?
Close. I did when I got the champagne in my eye. That stuff stings. Worth it, though. Completely worth it.
Well, hopefully it's the first of many, man. Congrats.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, we're here with Jensen Handler, team manager for the 250 Star Yamaha team. Solid night for the boys tonight. What do they have to do to kind of find that next step to just beat Hunter every weekend?
Man, I don't know. To be honest, I think Nate deep down was like, man, I'm giving it my all. I feel like I'm riding at 105%, and Hunter's riding at 85%. So, and it's obvious, like Hunter doesn't even look like he's pushing, and Nate's pushing. So I don't know. I think we just need to be up front early, and I think the only way to break Hunter is to keep the pressure on him. So we'll focus on that and work on starting up front. And I think if we can start up front and maybe pressure Hunter into a mistake, maybe, I don't know. But no, great night for both those guys. I mean, to be 2-3, that's pretty solid. The track was gnarly. They both said gnarliest track they've ever ridden. So yeah, happy to go away from this one healthy, obviously, and continue fighting and yeah, dig deep, I guess. For sure.
I would love to hear your opinion on the stuff the past couple of weekends with Hunter and Thrasher. Obviously, that put him in a huge points deficit. But is that just racing for you, or is that more like, come on, let's not do that so early?
No, it's racing. I mean, and obviously it goes both ways. I mean, let's be honest, like Hunter has a history of riding like that. He rides like that every year, so it's nothing new. Is he on Barcia status? No, but he will do it. And but if that's fair game for him, that's also fair game for us. So as long as we're all on that same page, then we'll keep moving forward, and maybe there'll be fireworks. I don't know, but I think it's racing. I mean, yeah, I can't be mad. I'm not mad, not at all.
All right, here with Dustin Pipes, team owner of HEP, Suzuki, Progressive, Twisted Tea, all of the above. Massive win tonight. Big moment for the team and Suzuki. Walk us through how you're feeling right now.
Man, it's a big one, right? We started this team 6 years ago, and it's just, man, to think that you're going to be here with an iconic rider like Ken Roczen is kind of, if people would have seen us when we started this team, it's not hilarious to think about it, but it's just, who would have thought, right? And like, I know you're holding the mic, but dude, you were here from the start. This guy holding the bike, Shane, he stayed on my couch when we started the team. He shot all the pictures day one. He was there when the first track was built, when the first bikes got delivered, and it's just 6 years, what a ride. Like, there's so many people that are like just breathe and just work so hard to make this win possible. Like, it's cool that I'm getting the interview, but like, there are so many people that day in and day out, or they'll not get the recognition, right, because they're just not in front of the camera. And there's so many people that go into this, all the mechanics, the truck drivers, filmers, suspension, motor, like everybody, and even everybody that's kind of like came through ours, like Clark Jones, Dave Cruz. Like, there's been so many good people that are just like influenced like how this team was built and like the way it went, and it's just, man, it's just surreal, right? Cloud 9, gonna drink a few Twisted Teas tonight, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, now the real work starts, unfortunately, right? Now there's expectations, so it's like we're super, super happy, and now we got to walk out, and the mechanics got to build the bikes tomorrow and frame it, and we got to do our best next week. So as much as we're going to enjoy tonight, I think we're all focused on Detroit.
So in the beginning of or I guess end of last year, when you were thinking about signing Ken Roczen and ultimately ended up doing it, how big of a risk was that for you? Because it could have easily gone the way that, let's just say, like James Stewart went for JGR. Like if it didn't go good, it was going to look bad on a team and be very hard for you to get another guy at that level. So what went into that decision, and where are we at now with that?
Well, I think, when you're building the team right, and the whole time we were building this team right, we didn't want to jump too far too quick, right? There's so many teams that have just like poured everything into 1 or 2 years that just they're gone. So for us, it was really like a slow build, and like let's take some calculated risks that we think that we can manage, right? And that's kind of what these past 6 years have been, is like weighing out the risk and figuring out how we can take those next steps, right? And I was just, it's funny because we actually talked to Ken's agent like midway through SX, and like I didn't think there was any chance that we were going to sign him, midway through 2022, and then things unfolded. Ken didn't have a ride. We had a slot open. We did some overseas stuff. He still didn't have a ride, and dude, like I literally just like called him on a Monday. Like I was just like, hey Ken, you want to come ride the bike, like just to see? And he came, and it was like, dude, we had such a great day that first day testing, and then like getting to the track, getting to the actual races from there. It's like, man, there's so many, like the bikes work so well on the practice tracks, right? Like we know how to tune them and get them there, and then you come here and it's like, oh shit, there's 22 other fast guys, the tracks are really gnarly. It's like, it's another step, right? And we've never had a guy like Ken, so there's a lot of expectations from him, and there should be, because he is a guy that's capable of winning races. So for us, like just trying to figure out how to take those steps, like it was never like a question of if like Ken was the right fit or Ken was a good guy. It was just a question of if we're ready to do this, and we just jumped in head first, and Ken had a lot of faith in us. He's worked his butt off. Like it's crazy to me. I know I'm talking a lot, but it's like you get this like outside persona. Like I didn't know Ken very well. I didn't know his family very well. That like you hear things that just aren't true. Like he's just such a good dude and so easy to work with, and he's so likable, and it's just, yeah, I'm fortunate to be in this position and to be the one behind this camera, seeing it all. I think, I mean, my whole family like does all this. Like it's sick. Aaron, Dana, Chase, my mom, Mike, Davis, like there's so many people like in the family that have just like died for this team. That's just awesome.
So when do we start talking about 2024?
Man, I need to have a few twisted teas first, but I think that's definitely on the first agenda.
All right, we're here with Ken Roczen, race winner. Massive night for you and the team. Walk us through the emotions right now.
It's so hard to describe, honestly. Like, I've had quite a few wins in my career, but this one is one if not at the very top. I mean, I didn't win for 3 years. Like, that was a big one, right? But to be able to deliver this to my team that has never had a win, and I feel like there was a lot of critics, but way more stoked than critics when I made the switch to my team and Suzuki, and a lot of naysayers that think that it can't happen. So the fact that we did it tonight, and in the fashion of being pressured towards the end and never caving in, and just making it happen on a track that was absolutely next level rough, is so rad. And honestly, I haven't even had time to really sit down in peace and quiet and kind of let it set in. I can't wait to talk to my family that are in other parts of the country. It is so big, you have no idea.
I remember the first day, or one of the first days you got on the bike, you were happy right away, and you were like, dude, this is awesome. What have you changed since then? Obviously some suspension here and there, but how much change have you done?
We have literally, I feel like we have taken the bike upside down in a way. We've been through multiple different suspension companies, I should say, and we have put in work that I don't know if I've ever done it like that before. We were at the track till 7 p.m. putting everything in motion to get this bike better because I wanted to, and so did the team, and they gave me anything and everything. Excuse me. And so we have literally changed everything on the bike, and this hard work pays off. I mean, when I first jumped on the bike, I was pretty happy with the base setting that I had at that point, but it wasn't enough to really and it wasn't just suspension that we changed. So I knew that the bike had good bones, and that's all that mattered.